What's up, everybody? It is your sis and your friend, Crystal Cross, right here on the Morning Jam podcast, where we talk about any and everything. Personal, old snaps and claps. It's a dang good day to talk about a few things. So let's get into it. You guys, so I was actually looking up back in the back a weight of, it says he say, she say. You know, we always talk about like, there's always two sides to a story. I've never heard three.
Yeah, of course.
It says
yours, mine's, and the truth.
So you actually, I've never heard of that.
Of course, yeah. You was today years old.
Today years old. That is today's years old.
Yeah,
that's things that's blowing my mind. Like
a lot of people don't want to. Most. I don't know. I won't say all, but usually when people are telling their side of the story, the objective is to make their side look what? Good.
Look
or
good.
as innocent as possible without really putting themselves in it, i.e. the leaking of Kirk Franklin's audio. I'm sure you heard the son cussing a little bit in it, but he probably was also edging Kirk Franklin on. And you know, Kirk Franklin, you know, bought into it, for lack of a better. You know, somebody said, you know, he made a mistake. I was like, that wasn't a mistake. He had a conversation with his grown son.
Kirk, he didn't make a mistake.
No, I'm not defending Kirk. I'm not going to defend the son either, because the son obviously is hurting in some kind of way.
Right.
I think it's because the man is a grown man that he can't hurt. You know what I'm saying? He still can hurt. You know what I mean?
That's true. I'm not saying that he
can still walk around with some hurt just because his father is Kirk Franklin. That don't mean he can't hurt.
And Kirk Franklin's human too, so
right. But
he have raised this 33-year-old man.
I don't know. I wasn't there.
I wasn't there either. But I'm telling you,
I'm sure they co-parented well, but at the same time, I'm sure being teenage parents, you drop the ball.
Absolutely, yeah.
And you don't know what you're doing. I think the best thing my mother ever said to me, one of the best things she's ever said to me, this was some years ago. We were packing to move. And we were discussing some stuff, and then I won't say all of what we were discussing, but this is what she said. These words, darn near literally. Boy, I didn't know what I was doing.
Listen, do you think that it took her some type of strength to even say that coming out from her mouth?
Probably. I don't know.
Man, that's...
Probably, because it was a light conversation. It wasn't a serious, deep conversation. It was just a lighthearted, fun, serious, but not serious conversation. And she's like, boy, I didn't know what I was doing. But in her saying that, she don't even really realize how much she had released me. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
From me thinking, because a lot of times kids put this unrealistic expectation on their parents, because you're thinking, well, you're the adult and you're grown and you got a bank account. You know what I'm saying? You know, like they don't screw up. You know what I mean? Like they don't have trouble paying rent and, you know, struggling to pay the car note, and like life is grand and job is hunky dory. Like, no. You know, those are people too. Your folks are people. They are human people who got human flaws, who do dumb stuff and can't get right sometimes. You know what I mean?
Definitely take a step back and be like, dang, I just fussed my son out, because y'all, my son has brought me to a point to where I said, boy, I know, and he has brought me to a point to where I wanted to just straight up cuss him out. Like, seriously, it takes you stepping on that nerve of a parent, because listen, I have one.
Yeah, because a stranger on the street you can really walk away from. But somebody who can
that
know
you
how to
care
pull on,
that's
and knows how to
inside of your
pull
belly, especially from a woman, though.
Yeah,
like,
but and they also know what to poke. You know what I'm saying? They've been around you all their life. Yeah, for the most part. So they know how to get you, either pull on a heartstring or keep poking you. One of the two.
My son kept poking me, and
I didn't have that experience. For real.
Like, seriously?
No, I didn't do that to my mother, and my kids didn't do it to me. So I don't really have that.
He's the good one, y'all. He's done nothing wrong.
No, I didn't say that.
He's done no wrong.
Not to them. And when I say not to them, meaning as in not cussing them out and talking to them like strangers on the street and beating them and abusing. None of that kind of stuff. You're gonna get What you say? I'll pop you in the mouth, man. Hold on.
Listen, my mom definitely popped me in the mouth.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not, you weren't 15. You know what I'm saying? We done got through all of what? Okay.
Listen, my mom and my dad threatened me. I'm 39 years old, and they still threaten with my tail. So I'd be like, okay, I know where it's not far to go with
There
you.
should always be a respectful reverence for your parents.
Exactly.
There should be, but I know it don't always work out that way. I get it. So in that case of the Kirk and his son, I mean, you know, all the best, for real.
Yeah,
and hopefully
absolutely.
the resolve will come as a result of this now, hopefully. At some point, the son is going to have to really man up, but I don't know what he needs to do it. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that he's not.
What? Say that
manned
again.
up.
You don't know if he needs to what?
I said at some point he's going to have to man up, but I don't know what he needs in order to do it. Like for me, you know, I always tell people I was a late bloomer, and then even as an adult, I still had a boy inside, and it wasn't until meeting my father and having the relationship with him, and I say over the course of a year and a half, because a year and a half later he died. But I got everything I needed from him within that year and a half.
Yeah.
And the little boy said, I got it. And the man was like, I'll take it from here.
Oh, that's cool.
You know what I'm saying?
That's great.
But so I don't know what little boy reside in Kirk Franklin's son or anybody's, any man.
Well, don't you think that within that certain amount of time, he's 33 now?
You're saying that, but some people don't.
But
people are walking around hurt at 50 and 60.
that's true.
We don't
But
know
I'm
when
just
the healing
saying,
is going to come. You would think.
You
It
don't know
sounds
what
right.
the steps that they both have taken already to just.
Well, I'm pretty
really-
sure they've taken great steps with counseling and, you know.
But at some point, to me, I feel like just let it go.
It's easy to say that.
It is easy, and I've been that person. I've had to really pray and ask God to help me to say, just let it go. And I have to let it go. Don't hold on to things that's going to really mess up your mental state and your mental, physically, emotional, all of that. Because it really can affect you like super bad. And it's just let it go.
Yeah.
L-I-G it. L-I-G it.
Yeah, see, that's never my problem. It's never been my problem. I don't hold on to stuff. I talk about it and it's gone. I don't sit around and...
That's the thing. But what if you can't talk about it?
Why can't I talk about it?
What if it was something that drastically happened in your life?
Well, you can talk about it. You just have to find the right person to be able to talk about it.
That's
too.
true.
And at some point, getting to a point where you can talk about it. I've never had anything real drastic to happen to me. Maybe if so, then maybe I have a different thought about what I'm saying. But as it stands today, no.
Yeah.
You know,
I
I'm good.
people have been going through a lot of things
Of course.
that they hold on for a very long
Absolutely.
time. And
Yeah.
they don't know what to do until they just make up their mind or decision to just let it go.
Yeah.
I've been one.
So I mean, I'm big on. I've never had counseling, although I've sat down with my pastor a time or two, and actually got a release in conversing with him.
So
This
you
was
didn't
years
think
ago.
that was a type of counseling for you?
Yeah, I'm not saying it wasn't. I know it was. But all of my stuff always centered around not knowing who my father was. Mine didn't center around being abused or sexually abused or abandoned or rejected or mine didn't center around none of that. And you say, well, who was rejected by your father? I don't know. I don't think I felt rejection. I was just always bitter at the fact that I didn't know who he was. But I never felt rejected.
Wow.
But even in that, he had said, my pastor, this was years ago, I was sitting there talking about it. And he said, again, these simple words, which made me go like this. He said, well, how do you know your father's not looking for you? I never looked at it that way. Never thought about it that way. Now I had a different perspective. And so it kind of changed something. I mean, it didn't stop me from being like Five with a Mouse looking out that window somewhere out there. You know, Papa, can you hear me? You know, it didn't stop that, but it just
That's sad.
Why? Because it released me. I felt I felt yeah, he could be.
Yeah.
Instead of who am I? I still wanted to know
sad.
who I was, but I don't know. I just never, outside of being bitter, that I know I was. You know. Outside of that, I was never anything else. Mm-hmm. And with bitterness come other things. So now you just kind of, you're hurting. You don't matter. You're hurting. So you hurt people in ways, you know, until you get your healing or deliverance from that. Which, you know, you heard the saying, hurt people. And that's the truest thing. But I'm telling y'all don't know nothing about. Not you don't know, but I'm saying if you don't know, you don't know what it feels like when you are free. And when you are free, I mean, like, it feel good.
I can definitely experience that freedom as well. A lot of people always see I guess somebody has said, the good girl, Crystal. Oh, this is the good girl, Crystal. Like, seriously, I have really worked hard to be who I am today. To even have standards and all of this wonderful living that I do. But
I think you do it to, correct me if I'm wrong, I think you do it to let people see how good you are.
At first, yes. But then...
Because I feel like it to glorify the good in you versus... what the Bible says about, I'm gonna mess this scripture up, so I'm saying I know it, I feel it, but I can't articulate it. It's something about so that they may glorify your Father in heaven. Mm-hmm. Let them see your good work, something, so that they may glorify your Father in heaven. And it's a difference when you say doing it so they can glorify God versus I do it so y'all can see how good I am.
Like I said, at first, yes. I can agree with you on that.
I saw somebody post up, God, thank God I'm not like them. I'm like, dang.
But then, you know, there was a switch. He definitely turned it on for me and said, Crystal, love who you are. And it took a long time for me to sit here with no makeup on. I have no makeup on. Mm-hmm. None. But I do have the mascara on and the lipstick, but there's no foundation. I have to have the full face.
I don't think anything's wrong with makeup or any of that kind of stuff. I would question though women when I see it all the time and it becomes why are you afraid of who you are? What do you look like?
Yeah.
Be you. Stop the filters and stop the
I like my filters.
and all the foundation. And again, I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying, but sometimes I think it becomes the you versus who you really are.
Gotta do, like, seriously. But I was leading up to saying that because, and I normally don't put my business out on the street, but this is really personal to me. I was
like Shop Pharmacy.
No, I'm just saying when I said to really get a hold of Crystal, to love who I am, I was sexually, you know, this is very hard for me to say, molested or however you want to say at a very young age. And it lasted for quite some time. Mm-hmm. But it took me a long time for me to love me again because I felt like it was taken away. I felt like, okay, this is not the girl that I knew from the age of, 13, 14 on back was a small little girl that, okay, I know who this person is, but from what age, 15, 16, 17, I was like, who is this person? I don't know this person, so I had to really find out who I was again and love who I am. So, and I kept that for years. When I say years, it took me 2 or 3 years ago to even break out and say, hey, this is what happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to let it go. I'm going to move forward. I got to move on because this is holding me back from who I need to be and what God has called me to, and the gift that he has definitely placed in me. I just need to. And that's when you said, I'm actually showing someone. Yes, I was showing someone that I can, whatever happened to me is not holding me back anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm stepping from that. Yeah. So now it is definitely just me knowing that I am.
Now, do you think that you, for however long, were, what's the word, like, for lack of a better, like frozen in time? Do you think you were stuck there?
I was.
To where,
yeah.
even though you're a grown woman, there was still a child.
Mm-hmm.
That was still, you were stuck there.
Because I can actually remember, this is crazy, the day, the time, where I was, what I was wearing, and how it took place. And it was just crazy. And I was stuck there.
Right. And see, I think I was having this conversation not long ago, and this very same conversation. I believe that, we get because I think we were just, not you and I, but we were discussing Kirk and his son. But prior to that, we were just discussing something very similar in terms of maybe even though the son is 32, 33, he's stuck at an age. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like for me, when I met I think there was a boy there. That was still a child, a boy there.
Yeah.
But I was stuck in an era. And I think this is probably very similar to what God was saying to Lot and his family. Hey, flee, run, get out of here. And don't look back. And Sarah was like, huh? And look back.
Right.
But I think that happens to us. I think we look back and we're stuck. We're literally stuck there. You know what I mean? Wherever there is, whether that there is at 13 when it happened, 7 when it happened.
Oh, I definitely didn't think of it
whenever
that way.
the trauma happened, I don't care what the trauma was. Sometimes I think we just get stuck there. And even though
time is still going,
what it's doing,
because
it's
not going to stop for us.
suspended in time.
Yeah.
Like, but I need help. I need healing here. Sometimes you don't know what it is though, until sometimes it's so suppressed, or sometimes you're not even relating the two.
Yeah.
And again, using Kirk as his son, maybe his son don't know he's stuck somewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe he don't know how to relate the two. I'm not trying to harp on Kirk and his son. I'm just that was recent. But I think that's what happens with people. You get stuck.
Yeah.
And
even for me just to even say it now, if I'm like,
the best thing that you could ever do, the easiest thing that you can ever do was the hardest thing you could do. And that's talk about it. But once you talk about it, it's the easiest thing you could ever do. It's the hardest thing to do.
Yeah.
But once you talk about it, start talking about it, it becomes the easiest thing you could ever do. And you get free.
Yeah. I remember talking about it. And I was like, whoa, what a relief. It was like pressure, because it was like something that was definitely heavy upon me for a very long time. I couldn't, because, some may think, oh, this person, no way.
Of course. Nobody's going to ever think Father Flanagan was was the weirdo.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
name, but
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
Nobody's going to ever think that such and such is going to be the person.
Exactly.
You
It's
just
always
don't know.
the one that you really don't think that's going to do something that, oh, yeah, that person did it.
And they live on life, but again, I don't know what kind of life they live. I don't know if it's hard for them. I don't know if it's, I don't know.
It's very scary because, I've actually mentioned this only to 2 other people, and they was like, you need to write a book. And I'm like, heck no, not writing a book.
Well, even if, excuse me, even if you're not writing a book about it, I mean, I think to just be able to share the story, not so much in detail or whatever,
Yeah.
and maybe not even so much as identifying the person, but just being able to talk about it. Because again, if that you can't heal what you don't reveal. I mean, if you keep holding on to it, it's gonna keep holding on to you. That's just facts.
No, I felt like that was a relief of letting it go when I finally mentioned it to a certain person. I'm like, man, I feel so much better. The pressure of weighing on my back is over. I'm not carrying this all by myself anymore.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's great.
That was a different path over love, over loyalty.
Yeah, we kind of switched it already.
No, that's cool.
Switched into.
No, I know, but nonetheless, yeah, I don't know. I just think that I talk about everything. I do too. I don't hold nothing. If something happened, I'm talking about it. I'm not talking about it to Facebook. Hold on, let me freeze here. I'm not. Let me freeze frame. I'm not talking about it on social media. I'm not going to Twitter, and I'm not going to IG. I'm not going to. I got this thing I gotta put out. I'm not doing none of that because I don't know you. You know what I'm saying? But I talk about it. I don't hesitate. I'm like, yo, such and such and such and such. For real? Yeah, because I gotta get it off. I don't sit around and let it fester and play on my mind, and now I'm thinking about
like
it and
something
ruminating
that
on it.
drastically happened to me like that. I felt like I just couldn't let.
Yeah, but that's I get it. I'm not saying that. You know, I get it. You know, that's not an easy thing to do. I put out a meme. This was a while ago. That said, we hide the molester, or we protect the molester, or we hide the molester, but we kick our children out if they gay. Something like that.
Yeah.
And my son responded, "Say that loud to the people, so the people in the back can hear it," or something like that.
Yeah.
And I say that to say because my son is gay. He's openly gay, so it's not a secret. It's not like I'm outing my son or nothing like that. I think, you know, even if you agree or don't agree with the lifestyle, to like shun your kids or that's just the dumbest thing. But you'll hide the molester, the person who's in around touching your niece and, you know what I mean, your little cousin. But your nephew gay, you don't want nothing to do with him. You know what I'm saying? That's just the dumbest thing.
I agree.
Or maybe it was him who helped that come about. You know what I'm saying?
Yikes.
But don't nobody want to talk about that.
Stepping on somebody's toes.
Don't nobody want to talk about that. Uncle Ray still at the cookouts.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
God.
Don't nobody want to hang around him no more. You know what I'm saying? But he's still invited to the cookout.
Right.
But your daggone nephew or your son can't come because he feel ostracized. Because
That's terrible,
God don't
though.
love homosexuals. You know what I'm saying?
He loves everybody correcting.
But no, you don't love homosexuals.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
A lot of people are harsh that way because, you know, for me, I'd be like, oh, okay. Then you can't. Don't throw rocks when you have a glass house. That's all I got to say.
You can't. You can't be plucking, what's it? Get the rod out your eye before you go plucking beams out of it. Get the
I'm
beam
definitely
out
not
of your eye.
going to be like, oh, they're gay. Like, oh.
But they gay, but you what?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You something. So
That's definitely
own
true.
that. You know what I mean?
Own up to what you have wrong with you. It always starts with self. Looking self in the mirror and getting self-correct. Because we are a generation now that is definitely quick to judge.
Well,
Quick to...
Go on, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, when you said that we are a generation that are quick to judge, I will say, not that I disagree with you, but I disagree with you. And what I mean by that is every generation is that generation. This ain't new. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Jesus didn't say let him he didn't say that to them for nothing. Let him without sin cast the first stone. That was said then.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So how are we a generation? No,
I'm
it's
just
always,
saying that's going on now. That's still,
but it's every generation is that generation.
That's true.
There is a generation before us, after us, and generations to come,
right,
that are going to judge someone based on something. You know, so I don't necessarily buy into that kind of stuff. I don't say those things. You know, this generation, no. I remember.
Remember back then.
Yeah, I remember back then how people acted. You know?
Right.
So what makes it's every generation. Every generation get it wrong. You know what I'm saying? And some are cool and some are not. You know what I mean? Some love you and some won't. You know what I mean? Some will and some do and some don't.
Yeah.
So it ain't no this generation.
That's true.
It's just you could say it's getting worse. I don't know if it's getting worse. I think we just getting more access to it.
True.
Hey, we didn't know what was going on in California before, but now you just go, oh wow, look what's happening in California. Matter of fact, they posted it. California, like, look what we doing.
Exactly.
We jacking up.
That's true. Gee.
Yeah, that's all. It's with the Philippines. Look what we're doing. We're messing up. Wow, they crazy over there, the Philippines. Before we didn't know, it was happening. We just didn't know.
Just didn't know.
Yeah.
We went out of the loop. Didn't have the 411.
Didn't have the World Wide Web. And we're all entangled in that moment.
Yeah.
We're all entangled in that joint.
You guys, right here on the Morning Jam podcast with your sis and your friend Crystal Cross. You guys, right here with the CEO of WadeWorksStudios, we have G. Wade. Thank you for joining us, Wade, right cool. Here. I was also just
confession is good for the self.
Exactly. I was actually investigating, looking up a couple of things because you guys know that I love potato chips. Potato chips. Mm-hmm. They said potato chips is one of the world's most weight gaining. So I got to put potato chips down. Yeah. No, that blew my mind. Like, seriously, do you eat a lot of potato chips?
I don't know. I'm not a junk food eater like that. Well, I mean, I'll eat some, but I'm not big on it.
Here lately, you guys, I've been tearing up some tortilla, garlic, and chili with restaurant salsa. That's like the top on my list of eating. Is like good. You should try it, Wade. It's good. Get you some. So they say that you cannot actually hold your nose and hum at the same time.
You mean? What does because the air comes out of your nose?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Duh.
Blew my mind again. We have these blow my mind moments. I'm actually going to start that on the Morning Jam of categories of blowing my mind segments of what's blown.
So that'd be before you wrap it up.
Yeah, wrap it up of things that's been blowing my mind. But I want you guys to know that too. Right here, your sis and your friend has been coming to Atlanta and been enjoying this great food. So I have my favorite places I've written down that I definitely love here. Number one is my fave, Taco Mac, baby. Taco Mac. Thank you. But okay, I listened today, Big Daddy. Thank you. And
Big Daddy? Oh, Big Daddies.
Big Daddy was good. Thanks. That was great. Mr. Everything. Yes, the favorite place. And last but not least, Slutty Vegan. Great place.
Can't go wrong with Slutty Vegan. Slutty Vegan is good. They winning.
Great place. Great places to eat. So if you're ever in the Atlanta area, definitely go check out these places to eat. Again, thank you, G. Wade, for being a part of the Morning Jam podcast on today. Also want to send out a huge thank you to WadeWorks for allowing your sister and your friend Crystal Cross on the Morning Jam podcast to be right here in the studio. You guys, if you want a clean environment, great service, great people to work with, great editing, all of that. If you want to do, and now you're doing like, what is that? The book audio here. Can they do that now?
Audio books.
Yeah.
If y'all want to come record your audio book, come on through. Give you some good rates.
So what else can they get from here as well?
What else? If you need a place, if you are filming like scenes from your movie or your TV show, we have had production companies come through and film We got some lined up, even coming in the months to come. God has been good. For real. Even it's been trying. Don't get me wrong. It's been trying almost from day one or day two. You know what I'm saying? And, you've heard me say, look, things don't turn around. I'm just going to start. I'm going to Jamaica. I'm about to go just shut this thing down and and go travel. But no, it's been good. I mean, some days are better than others. Some weeks are better than others. Some months are better than others. But it's been consistently getting better, even in the midst of the pandemic. Mm-hmm. God is still sending people our way, and we thank God for people who tell people about us, because we don't really do no heavy promotion. Even though I really do want to get more into promoting the studio, we don't do a lot of heavy promotion. We let our work speak for itself.
Yeah.
And I think by people telling you about us, it speaks for itself. So you guys, thank you.
No, we thank you for allowing us to come to this great place and you working so hard on everything for us. Thank you, G. Wade. Okay, you guys, we're going to shut her down here. Thank you all for tuning in right here on the Morning Jam podcast with your sister and your friend Crystal Cross. And you know what? We out. If you enjoyed this podcast, tune in each week on thinkingoutloudnetwork.com. Be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and share with your friends and family. Until next time, peace.